Your brain gets the same dopamine hit from saying you'll wake up at 5 a.m. as it does from actually doing it. That's why announcing your goals feels so good and why you quit 3 days later. You already got the reward. Your brain thinks the work is done. I used to think I was lazy. Turns out I was just wired wrong. And once I learned to rewire that, discipline stopped feeling like a fight. I'm Mutsa, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you 5 brain shifts that took me from scrolling in bed to moving with purpose. No willpower, no grinding, just rewiring. Here's what's actually happening. Every time you scroll, your brain releases dopamine. Every like, every notification, every 15-second video, tiny hits that say, "This feels good, do it again." But when you sit down to work on your goals, nothing. No dopamine, no reward, just effort. So your brain says, "Why are you doing this? Go back to the things that feel good now." You're not lazy. You're just running on a reward system that's been hijacked by apps designed to keep you scrolling. The fix? Teach your brain that progress pays better than escape. Every time you announce a goal and don't follow through, your brain logs it as evidence. He says things he doesn't mean. That's not burnout, that's broken self-trust. You call it tired, but it's really fear of failing again. And because we're men, we hide it with pride. We push harder instead of pausing to rebuild. But that pride costs more than time. It costs belief. We saw this back in episode 3, when self-trust cracks, motivation and confidence follow. That's not burnout. That's your mind saying, "I don't believe you anymore." You don't fix that with willpower. You fix it by rewiring how your brain rewards effort. Let's do that next. Before discipline sticks, you have to see what makes it slip. These 5 shifts reprogram how your brain sees effort. If episode 4 gave you the system, this gives you the code that runs it. Shift 1. I need discipline. 2. I'm learning to live disciplined. Identity upgrade. I used to say I need to be more disciplined, like it was something I'd find outside of myself. Then I started saying I'm learning to live disciplined. Present tense, active identity. That tiny shift changed everything, because when you say I need, you're admitting you don't have it. But when you say I'm learning, you're already in the process. Try it now. Say it out aloud. I'm learning to live disciplined. Feel different? That's your brain registering a new identity. Identity first, action second. When identity leads, consistency follows. Shift 2. Resist temptation to redirect reward. Dopamine reroute. Here's what I learned. You can't out-resist dopamine. Your brain will always choose the quick hit. So I stopped fighting it. Instead, I redirected it. Example. I used to reward myself with YouTube after trying to work. Now, I finish one small task, write 3 sentences, do 10 push-ups, send 1 email, then I pause, look at what I did and say, that's progress. That pause is everything. It gives your brain time to register the win. 3 seconds, that's all it takes to teach your brain that progress feels better than escape. You're not resisting the dopamine hit. You're just moving it to something that builds you instead of drains you. Shift 3. Use willpower to make fewer choices. Mental ease. Every decision costs energy. By noon, you've made 100 plus tiny choices. That's why you're tired before you even start working on your goals. So I started deciding once, acting many times. Example, I lay out my gym clothes the night before, not because I'm organized, because I'm lazy. When I wake up, there's no decision, just action. Same with my workspace. I close all tabs before I finish work. Next morning, one click, I'm in. Fewer decisions equals more energy for what matters. That's not strict, that's smart. Shift 4. Find motivation to prove reliability. Self-trust proof. Remember in episode 3 when we talked about self-trust? This is where it becomes instinct. Motivation fades, but reliability, that's evidence. Every day I make one promise I know I'll keep. Not I'll work out for an hour. That's too big. Instead, I'll drink half a liter of water before noon. Or I'll send that message I've been avoiding. Small, yes, but each one tells my brain, when I say I'll do something, I do it. That's the same self-trust we built in episode 3, but now it's automatic. You're not trying to trust yourself, you just do. Shift 5. Never fail, recover with character. Resilient identity. Here's the truth, you will slip. I did last week. I missed my morning routine 2 days in a row. Old me would have said, see, you're not disciplined, why even try? But now I said, I'm still the man learning discipline. This is part of the process. That one sentence kept me from spiraling because failure isn't your identity, it's just feedback. The difference between quitting and growing, what you say to yourself when you slip, that's character. Now, as usual, let's make it real. 7 days, 7 small wins. This challenge builds on episode 3 and 4, trust and structure working together. Here's your roadmap. Day 1 and 2, identity note. Every morning write, I'm learning to live disciplined 10 times. Not typing, writing. Your brain remembers what your hand does. Day 3 and 4, reward check. List 3 quick rewards you used today. Scroll, snack, whatever. Then write 1 slow win that felt better later. Just 1. Day 5 and 6, promise drill. Make 3 tiny promises. Keep them all. Water before noon. 1 push-up. Send 1 text. Each one is proof that your brain needs. Day 7, proof page. Write this sentence. This week I proved I'm becoming disciplined by ... Then list your wins. Read it twice. That's your new identity talking. 7 days, proof, not perfection. And if you slip on day 3, start day 1 again. The point isn't perfection, it's practice. Then one morning, it clicks. You wake up, no alarm, you just get up. You don't negotiate with yourself. You don't count to 3, you just move. And halfway through your routine, you realize the voice that used to say, 5 more minutes, is gone. You're not fighting yourself anymore. That's the moment you know it worked. You're not trying to be disciplined, you just are. Your brain now works for you, not against you. It's not control anymore, it's calm, and it feels good. When your brain starts liking progress more than comfort, everything changes. Work feels lighter, rest feels earned. You stop chasing motivation because you don't need it anymore. You're running on rhythm, not hype. That's real discipline. Not perfect, but steady. And here's what's next. You've rewired your brain. Now we need to rewire your action. Because knowing what to do and doing it, that's the gap we're closing in episode 6.